Hello, it's Tim at the TAH Farm, and we're going to do the install on this Easy Steer 500 in the Kubota 7060. So stay tuned, here's what's involved. All right, kind of a messy table here, but last video you showed you unboxing out of the box, but just slid this cover off. And here is what's in the box. It came with two of these. I already took one out and put it in the 1086 because that one needed replaced. But we got a book and a checklist of what they did here. Okay, here's the cable that goes from my system to the Easy Steer control box, and this goes from the control box to the motor. So we'll just set that right here, set this over here. Okay, this box here, let's back up to this box. Here's the instructions for that, and that's how to install this on that steering column. You got a 10 plate for where to cut it, and then here's the bracket that goes on there, hardware for it. And Vantage Northeast, that's who I got this from. These guys were great to work with, fully support them. They were great at telling me what I needed, and they knew exactly about the bracket for the M70 40 series. And he looked at it and said, hey, that'll work on the 60 series too. But nowhere in any of the paperwork does it say 60, but there's no difference. The difference from Kubota's standpoint is the emissions. They put the regen cycle in and things like that from the 40 to the 60, so it's all. And then there is a difference. And this was looking at stuff on Tractor House. The biggest difference I found was this stuff right here. But here again, I've got creeper and the 6-speed, and most people just have the 4-speed. So most of what I saw on Tractor House was the 4-speed. But I've got creeper, so I got 3 speeds here, high, low, and creeper. And then I got 6 gears per each one of those. So this is an 18-speed, where most of them are just 12. That's what was different here. So this layout was a little different from what I looked at, but as far as this, all the same. So this should work pretty good. We're going to need to see how to mount this thing down in there, what we got to do for that. But let's continue to unbox this stuff. So we'll throw that in there. Here's the instructions. Okay, this box here, this is probably the motor. Not the motor, the control board. They packed that up really, really nice. Okay. So that's this. This is what goes on the floor. And again, it says keep dry. We're gonna see where we can put this. Hopefully it's gonna fit right there. We'll have to see what we gotta do. Hopefully that'll work right there. Mounting it to the floor. Because I'm not sure, there's no real room to put it beside or underneath, and I don't want it back there. So this is going to be the best spot for it. A lot more room over there. We'll see. We'll see if we can make it fit there. And then this is the motor. So let me get it taped up here. Yep, there's your motor. And they give you some other hardware, throw in that box for mounting that up. There you go. And that goes on the bracket on the steering column. So we're going to leave that in there like that for now. But Anyway, that's what's in the boxes and how it's boxed up. Very well boxed up from Trimble. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is tear into the steering column. All right, first step for this bracket is taking this panel off the bottom. There's 2 screws right there, Phillips head screws. They come out. The trick is getting that lip out from underneath that steering wheel right there on the top and bottom. They say push down. That's easier said than done. So we got this apart. We're going to screw it back together and then mark it where we got to cut it. All right, screwed back together. I'm going to set it here. Line this 10 plate up with this bracket right here. There it's down in the corner. Got it lined up right there. And that's what we're going to cut out. So we're going to go inside and do that. All right, no salivating. This is another hobby of mine that I do in the deep, deep cold winter. Yes, I love trains. But anyway, this is where the Dremel stays and lives because we do all this stuff down here with the hobby. So we're going to cut this out very carefully. They talk about using a file, but I am so used to using X-Acto knives on these hobbies that this actually works pretty good. Cutting that stuff. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Just a little teaser. Took me 2 years to build that, but this is probably a 20-year project. Anyway, let's go put this back up, put that bracket on there, and we're about ready to go. All right, I can't really see what I'm recording here. They say pre-assemble this kind of like that, have your screws and stuff in it, and it's going to go right under here, and I got to lift that up. So set you off to the side here. I don't know what you're going to see or not see here. I may have to edit this out. But lift that up. Alright, we're going to have to see what the instructions say on exactly where this goes. But I know this has to be able to move up and down. Alright, I got it down in there. I don't know if you can see it. But that's what you're looking at. Hopefully that's blurry. Not blurry. But that's this handle here for reverse. Not messing with it right now. So let's see what we got to do when we put the motor on. Okay, it's in there. Doesn't mess with the steering. We're in neutral. Doesn't mess with the forward reverse. Got it on. I don't like the knee thing. It's kind of hard to hit the brake if I'm in first gear here, but I think if I'm here, that'll be all right. But the steering wheel, I've always got in the middle position. I'll have to have it always up. I can't get that to stay in. I couldn't get it to stay in before. I'm not getting that to... I'm going to have to make some more adjustments on this bracket. I think it needs to come down a little bit. Yeah, overall, I mean, I don't know where else you could put a bracket on this thing to make it work. Makes it hard to get the stuff here, but it'll be alright. Just have to get used to the hazards. Horn. But, we started up the calibration mode, and just giving me instructions. So we're going to read through these and see what we got to do. Well, we're just going to go through this. I'll edit out what we don't want to waste time on. We are a 2-wheel drive, so that's correct. Wheelbase. Does it give me the wheelbase in here? Wheelbase, there we go. 84 to 88 inches. So we'll go 86. Well, for Pete's sakes. And antenna height. I know what the antenna height is for this. Antenna height is 98 inches. Well, they're calling it 100, so let's go 100. And in front of that, on my cheat chart, I've got 36 inches, and that's what it says. Okay. We are to the front. Part of the wheel and mark the inside position of both sets of wheels. Okay. Let's go over here like I did the 1086. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's go out here in this field before it rains. All right, I was fighting it, and all I had to do was reboot it, and it came right in, and it is doing an incredibly great job. There you go. The Kubota now is easy steer. 2 hands, no hands on the wheels. Woohoo! Oh. Alright. Well, we're going to head to the house and call this a video on installing this Easy Guide 500 on an Easy Guide 500. On a Kubota M7060. It does work. I do have to make a little adjustment for that right there. Not quite lined up right. And we'll have to make a few adjustments on that to set up the aggressives to keep it on track. But I tell you what, that's staying right in the lines I did last year. Those were pretty straight rows of corn. So, yes sir. We just got back to the barn, and here it's starting. Beginning of our 2 inches. Well, 1.5 inches at least. We'll see how right they are.